Yeah, hello guys, welcome back. I'm Luna by name, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. It's good to have you here. So today I'll be walking you through what something called work cycle, which is a working animation. Using a 3D model to do a work cycle can be tedious. It can be really complicated. Most of the YouTube tutorial that I see, it's really confusing. It's not that they are not doing the best job, they are, but for me it was really hard for me to wrap my head around. But but I thank God that I was able to uh, like find a way around it. And that is what I want to show you today, to see if you can find it useful. Also, I don't know, maybe my own procedure may be easy for you to, like, you know get just wrap your head around it and work with it. So let's begin. So a work cycle has to deal with what they call position. What I mean is this. So before I could able to come to it, so I figured that every single time you're moving, you should understand that your brain has a memory of each position that the legs must move. That's why if a person has a lost memory, it's the person find it difficult to actually move, because the brain does not have a memory, or a memory store of how that leg position usually mean. And what that means is that in Blender, the memory of what we're trying to use is called the keyframe. So the moment we insert the memory in the keyframe, Blender actually makes the model understand that, okay, we're taking this step and taking that step. You will understand what it means when we begin. So if you look at this portion right now, this is all this is being calculated in a very fast move that becomes the walking. But if we are to calculate it stretch by stretch, this is how it actually looks like. But when I used this one, I didn't actually get a good result. I actually got a walking cycle, yes, I did, but it wasn't something I like. So to draw your attention to something is that each image reference, preference or reference you use, it will actually determine the kind of result you're going to get. If you want a funny character movement, you need to, like, go for an image, a picture or reference of a very funny work cycle. But if you were to build a very amount of memory bank of how to use it, you can throw away the reference and just use your brain to, like, position whatever you want to do. But for now, if you don't really understand how it looks like, you have to work with references. So this guy right here, I didn't actually get a good result out of it. It was off. This one gave me a good result, but there was a little problem. The problem is that if you pay attention, each of every posture or person makes, the starting point is always like this. And you should know something. Whenever you raise your left leg forward, your right hand needs to move forward with it. Whenever you move your right leg back, your left hand needs to move backward with it. So it's like flipping the hands between each opposite of the legs. But the problem I have with using this reference is that it's not complete. What I mean is that if you look at this leg, it's straight. If you look at it, so this leg right here is the one doing the balancing, while this one right here is the one doing the movement. So when I used this reference to create the walking animation, what I have here was this leg right here was doing the movement, which was cool, but this leg was just flipping the ground. It's just like when something is just dragging itself at the ground. It was not actually raising, just like the way this one was actually moving. It was just scrubbing on the floor, like, brrrr. So that was the problem with it. So it was not complete. It just looked like the walking cycle was not complete. But to make it more complete is that if you do a walking cycle of this position, you have to do the same for this other leg, in why this one becomes a balance. What I mean is this. So if we come over here, if you look at this one is actually complete. if you look at the first position, is here. You look at this one was doing the balancing while this one was doing the movement. Then when it gets to here, this one started doing the balancing while here started doing the movement. You could see it was actually complete, which is one side does the balancing, one side do the movement, while the other side flip, do the balancing while the other side do the movement. I hope you really understand what I mean. So let's put it into practice to see what we're actually talking about. So right now I will head over to Blender. So let's get going. So first, let me look for the yeah yeah I think it's yep. Okay, so let's firstly let's delete the default clip as tradition. Thank you. Let's bring this down. So I'm using a character I imported from Mixamo, which is already rigged. You can use whatever you please, it's actually forgiven. But if you don't, you can head over to Mixamo and just download a character that is rigged without an animation in it. So I will head over my file, import LVX, go to my download, and voila. So now the nigga is here. So if let me scale it a little. So we have some kind of I don't know, a giant guy that is just so yeah. Let's do something. So the best way to have a very good posture is to set the amateur, which is a 3D model, to the direction you have as your image reference. What I mean is this. So wherever to image editor, let me bring this guy up. Click over here. I'll go to my project because that's where it is. I'll click on it and I will import. So yeah, now it is. So we start from the first guy, which is this guy right here. So let's begin. You can go to front row if you want to, but I love working with this direction. It's I don't know, it's just okay for me. So let's begin. So first, to do that, we need to go to post mode. So we click on the amateur and we head over to post mode. Then we click on this X-ray to see what we're doing. So now let's begin. So the first one, you see that this guy have this leg, this position. So to make this video not extremely long, what I want to do is that I will activate my screencast so you can see what I'm doing. I'll press N in the keyboard, go to my and activate the screencast. So and back, nice here. So you can actually see what I'm doing. So to make this video not really long, I'm gonna explain what I will be doing in the motion while the moment I start fast forwarding the video. Whenever I create a posture with this armature to represent what is here, I'm going to set a keyframe here. Then I will move this keyframe to forward. Then I will create another posture and I will set another keyframe. Then I will move it again. Then I will set another posture. I set a keyframe. Every posture I make, I will set a keyframe for it and move it to the next, so that Blender can have a memory of each of the posture I'm moving. So Blender automatically calculates those memory in which I have stored as a posture and play them together. That is what becomes the work cycle. It becomes the work. So you will know what I mean in a few. So let's begin. And before I draw your attention, before I begin, remember when I'm moving the hand, you could see that this bone right here, I will be working with it, and also this bone right here to position. You could see when it moves forward, this chest really comes like it shoot out. While when this hand was going back, the chest goes inside. So yeah, so I would go back to keyframe 1. So right now I will begin. Thank you. So guys, I believe I'm done right now. So let's see what we got. Let's see if we are in a good shape or we, I don't know. So okay. So I believe this is okay. Yeah. Okay. So guys, I believe this is nice, you know. So this was the result we got, you know. Is I that guy. So with this process, I believe we. So with this easy process, you can see we actually create a walking cycle really pretty easy, just following the posture of every single, you know, of this guy. You know, every single image frequency or posture of this guy is what becomes the walking section we see right here. So Blender had the memory of each of all the posture which I was talking about, and it's calculated them, and it becomes the walking cycle. Anyway, I believe that this process is quite more straightforward and understanding, you know, than the rest I have actually come across. I don't know, there are other sides which are pretty good. I'm not denying the fact that, but this is the process I find really, you know, straightforward and easy for my brain to wrap around. So let's try to make it a little bit more better. So let's add a let's create a path for it to work on, you know. So let's add a yep, add a Bezier curve, you know, scale it and head over to yeah object mode. I don't really like that. Let's delete it. Let's click on this draw in this draw kind of, I don't know, maybe a straight a line like pretty this way. So yeah, so let's go back to object mode and click here. Let's go back to our properties tab. So let's press alt H to bring out the armature, you know. Click on the armature, go to our constraint, add constraint, click on follow path. So now on this constraint right now, let's click on Bezier. So we want to create a working, you know, right now we have the animation actually working, but we want to like make it more lively and useful, you know? So that's what I'm doing right. Let's click on follow path. Now you can see my armature is actually following the weird way. So let's try to seek the direction of where the Bezier is actually. So click on the Bezier, go into edit mode, click on this called edit mode and click on normal. So you could see right now it's actually going to this direction, but this guy is actually facing this direction, which is the wrong way. So to do that, let's click on the armature again. We can actually rotate this if we want, but let's try to fix it over here to see. So usually we manipulate this forward axis to see which one actually works best for you. So I'm going to click on this negative x. It didn't work. Negative y. Okay, I think negative y it's kind of okay for me. Negative y is kind of okay for me. So let's click on this guy. So let's see if it's working. Okay, so I think this kind of works well for me, but I think it's not actually. So I think okay, so but it's kind of really too fast. So let's try to reduce it a little to yeah. Let's see. Okay, but now there is a problem. Let's reduce it up a little. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, now the reason why it's not actually moving to this line right here is because my miniature is actually 41. So if we click on this Bezier, I will go to data and we click on path animation. You can see we have an 100 frame here, and yes, 41, which is not good. So we have to change here to 41. So the amount of frame you have here, it's also what you're gonna put here. If I have an odd 100, like if my animation working cycle is actually 100, I have to put an 100 over here, but it's 41. So this is what we got. So let's go. Well, let's try it and see. Okay, now it's moving to the edge of it, but the problem is it's too fast. So let's go back to click on the amateur, go back to here. Let's decrease this to like 0 point something. So let's okay. I think it's still kind of really too fast. Let's bring it down a little. Okay, now it's not working to the edge again. So let's bring it. Okay, now it's not. So let's bring it here. Yeah. And again, if you want your amateur to actually work pretty slow, if we go to post mode and you want it to work really, really slow, you need the keyframe mode over again matters, in a way. The more space you give, the more slow it becomes. The more closer the keyframe is, the more faster it becomes. So I think this guy is doing a little bit. So let's do something. Let's make it a little bit more. I don't know, more better in a way. What am I? Okay, I'm on post mode. Shit. Let me hide this guy. I don't like seeing it. Add mesh. Let's add a plane. Let's scale it. So let's this is a plane, and I think it's clipping the food side. Okay, so let's play the animation. So I believe that this is kind of nice. So if we press T, if I say linear, so guys, there's more we can do to this to make it more professional, in a way. But this is basically kind of like, how am I going to put it? Like, this is basically kind of, let me increase, if I increase this to like, this is 60, it's not up to that. So guys, we can actually do a more about this to make it more useful. But with this little tip and technique, I hope you find it really, you know, useful, and also kind of enlightening in a way for you to like give it a try to see which one actually works best for you. My idea is to bring what I have on the table so we can see if it's a better option, to work with. It doesn't mean the other ones are not good, they are. But I try to make things really simple as possible so that we can actually, you know, work with it. So that's it, guys, for today. If you find it useful, I would really, 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 really appreciate if you can give it a like and subscribe to actually help the channel out, to make it really, your contribution, it really matters to me. Click on the like button, click on the subscribe button to actually, help me out. It really makes the channel grows, and it encourages me a lot, and also help people who are actually looking for something like this to actually see it. So I would really encourage, if I would really be happy if you can do that for me. So thank you for watching if you come this far, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.